Hi campers and yogis, it's me Tanya. I'm so glad you're here with me today. Don't forget to press subscribe below and don't forget to sign up on our mailing list because all spring and summer long we're going to have lots of great videos and tips coming your way on how to make the most out of your life, how to get the most out of your camping and your family time, out of your yoga, out of the time with your dogs, and mostly out of the time that you just get with yourself. Because don't forget, the whole reason we disconnect is so that we can reconnect. So this is what we're going to talk about this week. Now is a great time to get out all your old equipment, yoga, camping, whatever, and take a look at it. Spring is coming and you want to assess what's still working for you, what needs to be replaced, what needs to be cleaned, what needs to be repaired. That whole process needs to happen. Because here's what's going to happen. You're going to get out your tent and this is what you're going to find. What is this? What is happening with my tent poles? Why do they look like this? What's going on here? That's not pleasant. That's not convenient, because you know what happened? I know what happened. Last fall, you were packing up and you were a little bit cranky and you were a little bit tired and it was cold. Maybe it was raining and you weren't as careful as you should have been. Maybe there were high winds that contributed. I don't know. It doesn't matter, because what's important is we can fix it. This week, we're going to talk about how to fix your wonky tent poles. So let's talk a little bit about the equipment that you're going to need for this. The first thing I want you to do is take a look at your tent poles and look at the opening that you have to feed your shot cord through, because you're going to need, of course, new shot cord. I wanted a shot cord that was a little bit more substantial than what came with my tent to begin with, so I ordered a higher grade. However, I quickly discovered that it was way too big to fit through this opening that I had here, so that didn't work out. The reason I'm telling you this is because you might have an option to order a more substantial shot cord, and that might be a practical solution for you. What I ended up going with was the basic shot cord repair kit that you can get at your sporting goods store. It turned out to be a great solution for me, and the shot cord it came with fit my poles just perfectly. It also came with a feeder, which is something else that you're going to need. It might seem like the shot cord is taut enough just to be able to feed it right through and go one after another, and it's no big deal, but it actually isn't. It binds up in there and it gets all twisty and it's a pain, and you're going to get a headache and you're going to be cranky. Just find yourself a feeder if you don't go with the shot cord repair kit. Make sure that the feeder is strong enough to make it all the way through the ends of the tent. The end of the tent poles. I tried a couple different options here. Like I tried to make one out of a coat hanger, and I tried to make one out of some crafting wire, because I wanted to give you a few different solutions. And ultimately, you got to make sure that this wire that you choose is strong enough to stay straight-ish all the way through the ends of the tent poles and not twist and bind up and give you a headache. Lastly, you're going to need tape, because you want to find some way to attach the shot cord to the feeder. Thank you, masking tape. Make sure when you do this, you line everything up end to end and you don't overlap, because if you overlap, then again, it's going to get too wide to fit through this opening where you don't have a lot of wiggle room, and you're going to get crabby. So make sure that the tape that you're using will adhere both to the wire and to the shot cord. Let's get started. Before we get started taking the old shot cord out of the tent poles, something we want to do is lay out the tent pole together the best that we can and measure our new shot cord, because we want to get a piece that's about 6 inches longer than the tent pole all assembled.
6 inches longer than the tent pole all assembled.
We want to get a piece that's about 6 inches longer than the tent pole all assembled. So after you have your shot cord and your feeder and you're ready to go, you want to lay out your tent poles, and you want to remove the old shot cord. Just go ahead and cut the ends and start to feed it through piece by piece. Try and keep the poles in the order that they came in, because there could be a really valid manufacturer's reason why the tent poles are the way they are, and you just want to maintain that just to save yourself some headache in the future. Now that you've got your shot cord cut and you have the old shot cord removed from your tent poles, and you have your feeder attached to your piece of shot cord, let's get started. Remember, your tent poles are in order and you want to keep them that way as you feed it through. So now you've got your temp poles assembled. You've got your new shot cord threaded all the way through, and you've got knots in the end. And you're going, wait, it's still kind of wonky. Like I'm not getting that elastic pull that I really need. What was the point of doing this? And then you're going to think back to the beginning of this video, and you're going to go, why on earth would she tell me to cut my shot cord longer than my assembled temp poles? That doesn't make any sense. Ideally, you're correct. You want your shot cord to be about 70% of your assembled temp poles. But the problem is, if you cut it at 70%, when you're threading it through, you're going to keep losing your shot cord from the end of your threader, and you're going to get really, really mad. And I don't want that for you. I don't want that for your family. I don't want that for your life. So you're going to cut it longer, and then you're going to put your temporary knots in the end. You're going to go back and assemble your temp pole, and then you're going to pull it tight and make new knots. Ideally, your permanent knots, but it might take you a couple go rounds before you really get to the elasticity and pull that you want. Your needle nose pliers might come in handy here if you're having trouble getting down in there. And when you're all done, when you've got the length that you want, if you want to use your fancy washers that came with your shot cord kit, please be my guest. Little super glue on your knot never hurt. And that's it. You're ready to go. On to the next trip. You know what that means? It means I'll see you at the campsite. Bye.